Good morning, everyone. Today we're going to discuss about vascular diseases. So let's begin. First, let's talk about the normal anatomy and physiology of your vascular system. Ayan. Usually kasi di ba, ang pinag-uusapan natin is cardiovascular. However, we've decided to separate cardio from vascular kasi masyadong broad yung topic kapag cardiovascular na, pag pinagsama mo sila. Ano po? So, madali lang naman intindihin yung anatomy and physiology ng vascular system. Kasi it only composes of your arteries, veins, and of course, in between them, ayan, your capillaries. Ano po? So here, illustrated in red, is your artery. Ayan. So, you have your artery wherein this one carries the oxygenated blood. Ayan. Which carries the oxygen and nutrients towards your cells. Diba? Ayan. And in the cells, dun mo makikita yung capillaries. Ano po? Capillaries is where the perfusion of nutrients and oxygen and nutrients takes place. Ano po? Towards the cells of our body. Ano po? The perfusion of oxygen and nutrients towards the cells, and at the same time, ano po, dito din po nako-collect, ano po, yung carbon dioxide and waste products, ayan, coming from the cells, ayan, papunta sa veins natin, wherein they will be sent back towards the heart and the rest of the circulatory system. Ano po? Ayan. The veins, pabalik na ito sa heart. Ano po? Para ipapump ni heart papunta sa lungs and i-oxygenate ulit yung blood. 'Di ba? Ayan. So, yun lang po. Ayan. So, looking deeper into these arteries and veins, ano po? Anong pagkakaiba ng dalawa? Ano po? Kasi remember, our arteries, kung mapapansin nyo, ang arteries natin, it is thicker than our veins. Bakit? It has to be thicker in order for it to withstand the pressure, the blood pressure that comes from your pumping heart. Ano po, kaya kung mapapansin mo, mas makapal compared sa veins. Ano po? Ayan. And at the same time, kung mapapansin nyo, the arteries only have this lumen. However, on the other hand, the veins have valves. Ano po, mamaya i-discuss ko kung ano, para saan ba yung mga balbula na yan. Ano po? So, unahin natin. Kapag arteries ang pinag-uusapan, yan. For your arteries, ano po, it carries oxygenated blood. Ayan. Away from the heart towards the rest of the body. Oh, there is an exception for that. The exception is for pulmonary arteries. Ano po? Except pulmonary arteries. Bakit? For the pulmonary arteries, it carries deoxygenated blood coming from the heart towards your lungs. Ano po? Para dun siya i-oxygenate and saka siya ibabalik sa puso natin through the pulmonary veins. Ayan. So, again, kung mapapansin nyo, it has a thick muscular wall. And it has a thick muscular wall that allows them to withstand the high pressure of blood flow coming from the heart. Ano po? And compared to your veins, arteries are located deep within the body. Ano po? Kaya kung mapapansin niyo 'di ba kapag magte-take ng ABG ang mga doktor or ang mga respiratory therapist, ano po, kinakapa muna nila, they look for the pulse. Ano po, because the pulses are ano 'yan, coming from your arteries. Ano po, naghahanap sila ng pulso. Usually ang ginagamit is your radial artery or your brachial artery, 'di ba, kapag kukuha ng ABG. Then, ano pa, they do not contain valves, ayan, because the pressure coming from the heart alone can keep the blood flowing through them in one direction. Ano po, malakas na kasi yung pressure sa arteries. Kasi directly, ang dugo na dumadaloy doon, direktang galing sa puso natin. Ano po? So that is for the arteries. How about the veins? Oh, on the other hand, our veins, they carry deoxygenated blood. Ayan. From the body coming back to the heart. Ano po? Oh, except for pulmonary veins. Ayan. So, because the pulmonary veins carry oxygenated blood coming from the lungs back towards the heart. Tama po. If kung mapapansin nyo, they have thinner and less muscular walls compared to arteries. Ano po? Mas manipis siya. Ano po? Mas manipis siya compared sa arteries. Ayan. Bakit? Because the blood in the veins flow under lower pressure. Ano po? Oo, lower ang pressure niya compared sa arteries. Ano po kasi, yung ang dugong dumadaloy sa veins, galing na sila sa, galing na sila sa capillaries, galing na sila saan? Galing na sila sa tissue, sa muscles, ganyan. Oo, perfect na sila. Ano po, pabalik na sila sa heart. Oo. So, this feature permits the vein to hold a very high percentage of blood in the circulation. Ayan. Oh. So, they are what? Aside from that, kung ang arteries, they are deep, ayan, deep within the body, ayan. Ang veins natin, they are peripherally located closer to the skin. Ano po? They are closer to the skin. Kaya madali natin silang mahanap, 'di ba? Whenever we are inserting an IV cannula, ano po, tourniquet lang ang katapat. Ano po, tourniquet lang, you will notice magbo-bulge kaagad yung vein, makikita ka natin kaagad. Ano po, unless the patient is a chubby one, ano po, oo. Unless chubby siya, oo. So, medyo matatabunan siya ng adipose tissues ng pasyente. Pero kung halimbawa normal lang naman, balingkinitan siya, makikita mo minsan kahit hindi ka na gumamit ng tourniquet, o makikita mo, yan, lapat na lapat yung vein sa niya, sa skin niya. Ano po? Then, again, they contain valves. Ano po? They contain valves. Ayan. Bakit? Para saan yung valves? To prevent the backflow. Ano po? And ensure a one-way blood flow back towards the heart. Kasi nga, di ba, lower ang pressure dito. Ito, high pressure, di ba? High pressure sa artery. Sa veins, low pressure. Ayan. So, para hindi po bumalik, hindi mag-backflow yung dugo, kaya meron tayong valves sa veins natin. Ano po? especially in the peripheral extremities like your legs and your arms, your hands and your feet. Ano po? How about the capillaries? Ano po? How about the capillaries? Your capillaries, ayan, asan na? Your capillaries are the smallest and most numerous blood vessels. Kahit sila yung pinakamaliit, sila naman yung pinakamarami. Ano po? This is the one that facilitates exchange of oxygen, nutrients, and waste products between the blood and the body's tissues. Ano po? Sulat natin. Facilitate the exchange, yeah, of oxygen, nutrients, and waste products. Ayan. Then, at the same time, they unite to form branches called venules. Ayan. Which further unite to form the veins. Ano po? Unite to form branches called venules. Ayan. Then, further veins. Ano po? So, balik tayo sa functions ng valve. Ano po? What are the functions or function of valves in the veins? Balikan natin ito. What are the function of valves in the veins? Na-discuss ba ito sa inyo sa anatomy and physiology? I hope na-discuss. O para review na lang talaga ito. Ano po? Ayan. So, first and foremost, it prevents backflow. Ano po? Nabanggit ko na to kanina. Preventing backflow. Ayan. So, that is one of the primary functions of valves. Ano po? Ayan. Kasi meron tayong tinatawag na venous reflux or venous insufficiency. Kapag nangyari yun, pwedeng magkaroon ng varicose veins, ayan, kung saan nagiging enlarged. Ano po? And twisted. Bakit? Kasi nagpupull po doon yung blood. Naiipon doon yung blood kasi hindi na functional yung valves doon sa parte na yun ng ugat ng tao. Ano po? Yan. Later, we will talk about varicose veins as well. Especially para sa mga girls. So, syempre ayaw natin magkaroon ng ganyan. Kasi pangit tingnan sa legs. Okay? Then, next is what? It promotes efficient blood circulation. Ayan. Bakit? How does it ensure efficient blood circulation? By ensuring that blood moves steadily towards the heart muscles, ayan, towards the heart, as muscles contract and relax during movement. Ano po? Oo. So, they help prepare blood through the veins, ayan, and at the same time, the valves facilitate this process by opening and closing in response to these muscle contractions. Ano po? Ayan, preventing blood from flowing in the wrong direction. Para isang direction lang siya. Only towards the heart. Ano po? Ayan. Kasi if the blood circulation or the blood flow in the arteries, ayan, are dependent sa tibok ng puso, ayan, sa pag-pump ni heart. Ang blood flow po sa veins are dependent on the muscle movement. Ano po? In that particular area. Kaya nga kung mapapansin nyo, di ba, ano yan, kapag ang pasyente bedridden, ano po, aside from prescribing elastic stockings, o applying elastic stockings for the patient, ano po, we are, ideally, we will have to connect the patient into an AV pump. Ano po, para yan siyang it's a machine wherein meron kang parang balloons sila o ira-wrap mo dun sa extremities ng pasyente, ayan, to mimic muscle contraction. Ano po, para, to promote, blood flow in that particular area. Ano po, kasi of course, if the patient is bedridden, hindi siya makakagalaw mag-isa. So, to mimic the muscle contraction, the AV pump will do it for the patient. Ano po? Ayan. Then, lastly, number 3, it counteracts, ano po? Counteract counteract gravity. Oo. Bakit? In the areas where gravity poses a challenge to blood flow, such as the legs, ayan, your arms, ayan, your valves become especially crucial. Ano po? Kasi without the assistance of your valves, blood could pool in the lower extremities. Bakit? Nandun malakas yung gravity, di ba? So, in order to prevent that, ano po, para hindi sila mag-pull sa baba, ayan, sa paa natin, ano po, ini-ensure ni valve na, papunta talaga sa heart. Ano po, kasi kapag nag-contract, dadaan yung blood, dadaan yung blood papunta dito, ayan, pupunta dyan. And kapag nandito na yung dugo, magko-close na si valve. Ano po, magko-close na si valve, hindi na siya babalik pa ulit sa baba. Ano po, papunta na siya doon, then may valve na naman dyan, mag-open and close, and then it continues until the blood reaches the heart. Ayan. So, that's it for your anatomy and physiology. Ayan. For the vascular system. Simpleng ano lang yan. Sige. So, let's start talking about your vascular diseases. Ayan. Medyo madami-dami to. Ano po? Ayan. So, please bear with me. Ano po? Kasi iisa-isahin natin lahat ng vascular diseases. I'm sure some of these you've already encountered in your med-surg. So, this is only a review. Ano po? First, let's talk about your peripheral artery disease. Ano po? Or arterial diseases or atherosclerosis in your peripheral arteries. Ano po? Sabi dito, according to Cleveland Clinic, ano po? Peripheral artery disease is a blockage in your legs. Ano po? Kasi peripheral nga eh. 'Di ba? A total loss of circulation can lead to gangrene and loss of a limb. Kapag gangrene, what? This is what? This is muscle death because of lack of oxygen. Ano po? Muscle or tissue death due to lack of oxygen supply. Bakit lack of oxygen supply? Because the blood flow carrying the oxygen is already what? Is already obstructed because of your what? Because of this build up of plaque in your arteries. Ano po? So here, we have a narrow artery showing you a poor blood supply, because of the presence of plaque, and a totally blocked artery. Bakit? Kasi po, yung plaque natin nagka-injury, ayan, which eventually, ano yan, because of your coagulating factors, nagkaroon na ng blood clot doon, ayan, which totally closed off the artery. So now, there is no more blood flow. Ano po, wala nang blood flow. Kasi barado na siya. Ano po? So what are the signs and symptoms? Ano po? And again, it happens in your peripheral artery. Which can be found in your legs. Ano po? So signs and symptoms, of course, you will experience leg pain or cramps with activity. However, it improves with rest. Changes in skin color. Bakit? Remember that your skin are also what? Is also a tissue composed of cells. If your cells doesn't receive enough oxygen, enough nutrients, ayan, hindi siya makakapag-regenerate ng maayos. And therefore, with poor regeneration, pangit din po ang magiging skin in that particular area. It will be dry and flaky. Ano pa? Puwedeng nangingitim na siya, oo. And if there's already signs of necrosis, what? Magkakaroon na ng ulcerations and eventually gangrene. Sore ulcers and of course, tired legs. Yeah. So, what would be the management and treatment? Ano po? What would be the management and treatment? Of course, we will advise the patient to what? Diet. Ano po, mag-diet sila. Bakit? The cause of this disease is what? Atherosclerosis, 'di ba? Because of plaque build-up. So, we will advise the patient to what? Low salt, low fat diet or low fat diet, low cholesterol diet. Ano po? Exercise. Ayan, exercise in order to prevent fat build-up. Ano po? Then medicines. What kind of medicines? Oo. We can anticipate for the doctor to prescribe what? Low molecular dose heparins. Ano pa? Yung mga blood thinners. Bakit? Blood thinners in order to what? To prevent more clots and to what? From the name itself, blood thinners para pampalabnaw ng dugo. Ano? Para mas madali pong makadalo yung dugo in the narrowed arteries. Ano po? However, if in case the first three is what? Is non-effective, the doctor might order for surgery. What type of surgery? We have identified two surgeries that are commonly used for peripheral artery diseases. So first, the doctor might order for stent with balloon angioplasty. Ma'am, paano yan ginagawa? Ano po? So first, in this surgery, ano po, it's an invasive surgery kasi may ipapasok sa katawan mo na wire. However, hindi niya kailangang gumawa ng incision dun sa affected area. Ano po? Kasi using your femoral artery, usually yung pinakamalaking artery sa katawan ng tao, ano po, may ipapasok lang doon na guide wire and basta yung mga wire. Ano po? So, with the guide of the angiogram, ano po, the doctor will try to locate the artery that is affected wherein there is a build-up of cholesterol. Ano po? Then, the stent with balloon will be inserted into the partially blocked artery. Ano po? So, since it's a balloon, of course, a balloon should be inflated. Ayan. In order to expand the stent. Ayan. And kapag well expanded na po yung stent, ito ang stent mga kaibigan ha. This is the stent. Nakikita nyo ba? Pula kasi. So, this is the stent. In the number 4, kapag extended na po yung stent, ano po, stent, it will hold what? It will hold now the narrowed artery, ano po, para bumuka siya. Ano po? Oh, so kapag naka in place na yung stent, the balloon again will be deflated and will now be removed from what? From the body of the patient. Ano po? Oh, so leaving now a fully reopened artery. Ano po? So ano na ngayon ang magiging nursing considerations mo during this procedure? Ano po? So, for this procedure, ayan, since nag-angioplasty kayo, oo, you have to take note or you have to be cautious of the bleeding in the insertion site. Ano po? So, usually, in order to prevent bleeding, you have to what? You have to apply direct pressure in the area of insertion. If it was the radial artery, then you have to put pressure there. Oo. If it's the femoral artery, you have to put the pressure there. And we have to instruct the patient to lie flat on the bed for at least, what? 6 hours, 6 to 12 hours. Depende po sa order ng doktor or ng vascular surgeon. Ano po? So, next, next would be what? Next would be your grafting. Ano po? Or bypass graft. And this is your bypass graft. Oo. This is another invasive procedure wherein, ano po, gaya sa CABG, ayan, 'pag CABG kasi sa puso, ano po, ito, ang graft is ginagawa dito sa affected artery ng leg ng pasyente. Ano po? So, here you have your femoral artery, ayan. The doctor have already identified the blocked area. Oh, then in order to resume the blood flow and dun sa peripheral part of the leg of the patient, gagawa ngayon ng graft ang doktor. Ano po? Using a vein from the patient. Ano po? Patient's own vein ang ideally ang gagamitin para wala tayong rejection. Ano po? Para walang allergies. So, kukuha yung doktor ng vein, a healthy vein in any other part of the body ng pasyente at yun po ang idudugtong sa dun sa proximal part ng blockage and the distal part of the blockage. Para kung hindi man makadaloy dito yung dugo, hindi man makadaloy diyan kasi nga may block, at least meron siya ngayong bagong ruta. There will be a rerouting for the blood circulation. Para hindi naman mamatay yung extremity ng pasyente natin. So, ma'am, ano ang pagkakaiba ng dalawa? Kung mapapansin nyo, balloon angioplasty is ideal if there is only a narrowing. Ano po? Narrowing or partially blocked artery. Bakit? Meron pa tayong pagsusut-sutan ng stent. So there is still a chance for the stent to be inserted, within the artery. However, if the blockage is thick, and wala ng chance, kaunti na lang ang chance or totally blocked na talaga, yung artery, then the doctor will opt for a bypass graft. hindi niya nagagalawin yung ugat na yan kasi there is already a blockage. We want to prevent this blockage from being dislodged, causing an emboli for the patient. Ano po? Ayan. Kasi kapag tinanggal mo pa yan, there is a high chance that yung plaque po na matatanggal diyan will be turned into an emboli which can cause what? Pulmonary embolism, etc. Ano po? So instead, the doctor will opt for grafting. Ano po? Making a bypass graft. That's it for your peripheral artery diseases. Peripheral artery disease. Next will be your intestinal ischemic syndrome or ang tinatawag nating mesentery ischemia. Ano po? This is a blockage in the blood vessels leading to your gastrointestinal system. Kaya nga intestinal ischemia, 'di ba? Oo. Kasi po, yung mga blood vessels that are found within your mesentery, develop blockage. Ano ba yung mesentery? What is your mesentery? Mesentery is this one. Alam niyo yung ligaments na nagho-hold ng intestinal organs nyo? Oo. Or your intestines. Ano po? Kaya siya hindi nagbubuhol-buhol sa loob ng tiyan nyo. That is your mesentery. Ano po? It is an organ in your abdomen that holds several other organs in place. Kasama na doon yung small and large intestines, your colons, etc. Ano po? Oo. So, sa mesentery din po mahahanap yung blood vessels that supply your organs inside. Ano po? Kung mapapansin nyo, this is the mesentery. You have here your series of blood vessels. Ano po? So, mangyayari iyon, the mesentery ischemia is rather rare, or uncommon. However, if it happens, this is dangerous. Ayan, bakit? It is dangerous when parts of your digestive system doesn't get enough blood flow. Bakit? There is a blockage in the blood vessels. Ano po? Here in this illustration, dito sa illustration na ito, meron tayong blood vessel here. So of course, magkakaroon ngayon ng ischemia dito, leading to low blood flow or lack of blood flow in this particular area. Ano po? So, meron tayong tinatawag na acute mesenteric ischemia. We have two types. We have the acute mesenteric ischemia and the chronic mesenteric ischemia. Ano po? Kapag acute mesenteric ischemia, ano po? So, a waxy substance, usually a plaque, can build up inside your arteries, causing them to harden. Kaya nga, atherosclerosis. So, it happens commonly in cardiovascular disease. Actually, halos lahat ng vascular diseases, ang common cause nila is atherosclerosis. Ano po? So, ang atherosclerosis pala, it doesn't only affect your brain or your heart, it also affects your vascular system. Ano po? All throughout the body, pwede siyang mangyari. Ano po? Ayan. So, paano siya nangyayari? Ano po? So, actually, the clots can cause blockages in the following ways. Ano po? So, here, a clot forming in your mesenteric artery, ayan, this is 15 to 25% of cases. Ano po? kung yung clot nag-form mismo sa mesenteric artery. However, if a clot gets stuck in your mesenteric artery, ibig sabihin yung clot na yon, it was an emboli that is traveling all throughout your your vascular system, and nag-stuck lang siya. Na-stuck siya sa mesenteric artery, that is 50% of cases. Oh, kaya nga siya acute, 'di ba? Kasi hindi siya because it takes time for a plaque or a clot to form. Ano po? Pero when we say acute, it suddenly happens. Ano po? Oh, so most probably the clot is an emboli that was traveling all throughout your vascular system and accidentally got stuck in your mesenteric artery. Ano po? Next, a clot forming in nearby veins of your mesentery. Ayan, that is 5% of cases. Ayan. So, this often happens when disorders that make your blood clot too easily. Ayan. So, clots in your mesenteric veins slow down the blood flow overall. Ano po? Causing blood to back up behind the clot. Diba? So, this is more common in people who are younger. Oo, bakit? Because usually these conditions, these conditions are inherited from the parents. Ano po? Congenital na, genetic. Kaya bata pa lang siya, meron na talaga siyang tendency na magkaroon ng ganito. Ano po? Ayan. Meron tayo ditong drugs, medical procedures, and health conditions. Ito naman, this is from, meron tayong tinatawag na NOMI. Ano po? Or your non-occlusive mesenteric ischemia. Ano po? Or simply NOMI. So, it happens without a blockage. Ano po? So, acute NOMI happens when blood vessels constrict. Ano po? Or there are spasms in the muscles lining those vessels. So, it happens when there is drugs involved. Ayan. Certain kind of prescription heart medications, ayan, can cause your blood vessels to narrow. Ano po? Or pwedeng recreational drugs like cocaine. Ano po? It causes narrowing of your blood vessels. So upon taking this drug, ang nag-narrow not only the other blood vessels but also your mesenteric blood vessels. How about medical procedures? Medical procedures like dialysis, surgery, ayan, it can cause constriction of your mesenteric blood vessels. Kaya nga 'di ba, kapag whenever the patient had undergone surgery, hindi tayo agad-agad nagpapa-resume ng diet. Ano po? We first wait for what? For the peristalsis to be heard, ano 'yan? Sa tiyan ng pasyente. Ano po, or at least kailangan umutot na yung pasyente. Ano po, bakit? Kasi we are now sure that the gastrointestinal system of the patient is again working properly bago tayo mag-introduce ng pagkain sa pasyente. Ano po? So, how about health conditions? So, like for example, sepsis, ayan, heart attack, dehydration, ayan, or allergic reaction. So, all of this can contribute to acute mesenteric ischemia. Bakit? Kung mapapansin nyo, your sepsis, heart attack, isulat ko, dehydration. Ayan. And allergic reaction. Oh, allergic reaction. What does all of this have in common? Ah, kung mapapansin nyo, all of this leads to low blood pressure. Low blood pressure. 'Di ba? So, kapag low ang blood pressure, ano po, mahina din po ang daloy ng dugo sa mesenteric natin. Ano po? In your, ano yan, mesenteric artery. So, leading now to NOMI. So, how about your chronic intestinal ischemic syndrome? Ano po? Kapag sa chronic, actually kapag chronic kasi, hindi siya kasing dangerous because the disease develops over time. Ano po? However, since ano yan, siguro ang napapansin lang ng pasyente, sakit-sakit ng tiyan, paminsan-minsan, ano po, hindi siya kaagad nada-diagnose. Ano po? Ayan. So, chronic mesenteric ischemia often happens because the circulatory diseases, ayan, that cause blood vessels to narrow. Ayan. So, this narrowing, ang tawag natin dyan, di ba? Stenosis. Di ba? We have stenosis. So, means that blood flow to your mesentery drops over time. So, circulatory diseases. Ayan. So, while this condition isn't life-threatening right away, about 40% of acute mesenteric ischemia happens after a person has chronic symptoms. Ano po? So, aside from that, kapag chronic kasi, usually a blood clot forms in the mesenteric blood vessel. Ano po? It forms. Oo. Sa chronic, nagpo-form po yung blood clot doon. Kapag acute, ano po, most probably it gets stuck in there. Ano po? Ayan. So, this condition can also happen because a blood clot forms in the mesenteric blood vessels. So, when this happens, the clot can grow over several days, ayan, or even weeks, with symptoms getting worse as it gets larger. Ano po? So, what are the symptoms? Ayan. What are the symptoms? Signs and symptoms. Actually, halos magkaparehas lang sila. Ano po? Oo, with slight distinction. So, these are the clinical manifestations. Kapag acute mesenteric ischemia, of course, there is abdominal pain. Ano po? It happens for about 75 or 80%, 75% to 80% of cases. So, it usually happens after eating. Ayan. Then, however, ano po, there's no specific place, ano po, sa tiyan ng pasyente, hindi niya malocate. Ano po, hindi niya alam kung saan ang masakit and usually this is very severe. Ano po, yung tipong namimilipit talaga siya sa sakit. Ano po? So, on the other hand, aside from abdominal pain, we have bloating, nausea, and vomiting. Ano po? So, usually this happens together with the abdominal pain. Ano po? Lalo na especially the vomiting. Ayan. So, next, there has been ano po, changes in bathroom habits. Ano po? If before it is normal for you, your normal frequency is once a day, ano po? Nakapag-develop ka ng acute mesenteric ischemia, ano po? From your once a day, pwedeng twice or 3 times a day na, or it can be the other way around. Pwedeng hindi ka na, bigla ka nang naging constipated, hindi ka na nakakapag-poops. Ano po? Ayan. Then, aside from that, you might develop diarrhea. Ano po? Actually, this happens about 40% of cases. Ano po? However, it may happen off or on, off and on. Ayan. Hindi din siya your bowel movements become erratic. Ano po? Hindi na siya minsan constipated ka, minsan nagkaka-diarrhea ka, gano'n. Ano po? And in these cases, diarrhea may be very intense. Ano po? With severe pain. Ayan. So, in late stages of this condition, pwede ka nang magkaroon ng bloody diarrhea. Ano po? In late stages, pwede kang magkaroon ng bloody diarrhea. Then of course, since nagkaka-diarrhea ka na, magkakaroon ka na ng weight loss. Ano po? Bakit? 'Di ba yung abdominal pain mo after eating, so matatakot ka na ngayong kumain, 'di ba? And at the same time, nagdadiarrhea ka kaya magkakaroon ka talaga ng weight loss. Ano po? Ayan. Then, next would be what? Fever. Ano po? This can be actually a sign of a dangerous infection. Bakit? Oo. 'Di ba kapag nagkakaroon tayo ng kapag may problema sa blood flow ng isang in a particular area in your body, eventually ano po, eventually the area or the tissues that are supposedly supplied by this particular artery becomes what? Becomes necrotic. Bakit? With lack of oxygen and lack of nutrients, the cells in that particular area of the body eventually dies. Ano po? Without the ability of regenerating. Ano po? So, if those cells becomes necrotic, there comes now a chance for your opportunistic microorganisms, opportunistic pathogens to what? To colonize that area and cause an infection. So, kapag meron ng infection, of course, the fever will set in. Ano po? As a response of your immune system to the infection. That is for the acute mesenteric ischemia. How about your chronic? Ayan. Chronic, again, of course, there will be abdominal pain. Ayan. Oh, however, ang abdominal pain po sa chronic is most noticeable for about 1 to 2 hours after a meal. 1 to 2 hours after meal. Oh. And the pain is not really very severe. Ano po, it is more on cramps. Ano po, cramps, and usually it happens in the upper belly. Ayan. Upper belly. Ayan. Or around the belly button. Yung pusod po. Ayan. Then, since there is abdominal pain, matatakot na ngayong kumain yung pasyente. Kasi ngaya, palagi na lang ngaya kapag katapos mo ngayang kumain, sasakit ngaya yung tiyan ko. Oh. So, matatakot na siyang kumain, di ba? There will be food fear and eventually weight loss. Kasi hindi na kumakain yung pasyente, di ba? Oh. Then again, same with acute mesenteric ischemia, there will be changes in bathroom habits. Ano po? So this includes needing to poop more or less often than you did before. Ano po? Then diarrhea. Yan. Diarrhea. So that's it for the chronic. Ayan, chronic mesenteric ischemia. So, paano nyo nga pala yun siya madadiagnose? Ano po? Oo, kasi usually, mahirap kasi i-diagnose 'to, eh, lalo na sa ating mga Pilipino. Ano po kasi usually kapag masakit lang yung tiyan natin, papahiran lang natin ng katingko, Vicks, ganyan, baka nga yan na Sibang, ayan, oh. Usually dadalhin mo na lang kapag nagda-diarrhea na ng dugo yung pasyente, 'di ba? Oh, tipikal. Oh, so how does the doctor diagnose this? Oh, usually your doctor diagnose this ayan, based on a combination of physical examination, laboratory test, and imaging. Ano po? Especially the imaging. Ano po? Because that is the only time wherein the doctor can pinpoint that, okay, oo, makikita niya yung narrowed artery of your mesentery and therefore rule out. Ano po? Oo. Magiging certain na siya na, okay, itong pasyente na ito, meron siyang mesenteric ischemia. Ayan. Or intestinal ischemic syndrome. Ayan. So, ano nga ba yung management and treatment natin? Ano po? Oh. Sa kapag acute mesenteric ischemia, kapag acute mesenteric ischemia, usually, ano po, the doctor will prescribe IV fluids. Ayan. Oo. IV fluids, this helps in, ano yan, kapag may low blood pressure or dehydration, ayan, is part of the issue for the patient. Ayan. Blood transfusions. Blood transfusions. Especially kapag nagtatainan ng dugo yung pasyente, ano po, in order to correct the blood loss for the patient. Then, we will put the patient on supportive oxygen. Ano po? Why? Because it reduces how hard your body has to work to circulate your blood. And at the same time, it will supplement if ever there is a narrowing in your ischemia, at least mas madaming oxygen, mas malilesen po yung clinical manifestations na feel ng pasyente because of, ano yan, because of lack of oxygen. Ano po? Then, of course, antibiotics. Antibiotics, ayan. Bakit? Especially kapag may fever na ang pasyente. Ano po? Remember in your microbiology and parasitology that your digestive system, especially your intestines, your large intestines, ayan, this particular area has, ano yan, has a diverse collection of normal microflora. Ano po, your normal flora, maraming microorganisms dyan. Ano po, that in an ideal situation, they are what? They are helpful. They give you vitamin K. Ano po, it covers the intestinal lining, preventing other pathogenic microorganisms. However, ano po, given the opportunity, ayan, given the opportunity, they might cause an infection. Ano po? Especially kapag necrosis already sets in. Ano po? Therefore, antibiotic is very important in order for the patient, ano po, in order for us to prevent the patient from reaching or having sepsis. Ano po? Ayan. Oo. Especially kapag ang pasyente candidate na for colon surgery. Ano po? Because we want to decrease the risk for infection. Ano po? Ayan. Then, blood thinners. Blood thinners, bakit? There's already a narrowing in the artery of what? Of your patient. So, again, we want to thin the blood in order for what? In order for it to pass through more freely in that narrowed area, and at the same time we want to prevent more blood clots to form. Ano po? Or we want to prevent blood clots to form. Ano po? Kasi kapag nagkaroon ng blood clots doon sa area na yun, in that narrowed area, it will cause blockage. Oh. So, how about your NOMI? Ito, acute ito ha, acute mesenteric. Kapag NOMI naman, or your non-occlusive mesenteric ischemia, ano po, ang importante lang doon, ano po, the goal in the treatment is to treat whatever is causing those blood vessels to constrict. Ano po, and to prevent it from happening again. Kasi kapag NOMI, 'di ba, ang problema lang naman doon is nagkakaroon ng vasoconstriction in that area. Ano po? Oh, so the treatments might include vasodilators. Vasodilators. Ano yan? Para saan ang vasodilators? These medications will cause your blood vessels to expand. Ano po? So making it easier for the blood to flow through these arteries. 'Di ba? Next, again, your antibiotics. And again, if in case there is surgery, ayan. Oo. Or whenever there is a risk for infection, ayan, of course, yung doktor mo pasiguro. Ano po? Oo. Mag-ano na siya ng antibiotics. Then, of course, your oxygen. Oo. So, same reason with acute mesenteric ischemia. It reduces how hard your body has to work. Ano po? To circulate the blood. How about chronic? Ayan. Kapag chronic na po, ano po? Kapag chronic na, so, pwedeng gayahin niya din itong si acute. Ano po? However, in cases for chronic, kapag ano na siya, naabot na ng bituka niya yung point of no return. May gano'n, point of no return. Ano po, the doctor might opt for surgery. Ano po? Oh. So, surgery is more common, most common. Ano po? Ayan. Especially kapag ano yan, kapag na-find out ng doktor that there is a slow-growing clot, ayan, or blood vessels have become too narrow. Hindi na siya puwedeng madala pa ng ano, ng simpleng blood thinners, oxygen, or antibiotics. Ano po? Ayan. Especially kapag meron ng internal bleeding, infection, ayan, or nagkaroon na ng complications. Ano po? So usually, what kind of surgery will be used? We will be using bypass surgery again. Remember this one? Asan na yun? This one? This bypass? Ito siya. Oo. Ano yung pointer ko? Ayan, this one? Oo. So, imagine this being performed in your mesentery. Ano po? In this area. Oo. Same lang din po. Using another vein, ayan, or another blood vessel, another artery, ganyan. Oo. Gagawa tayo ng rerouting of the blood flow. Ano po? Para yung dugo, ma-reach niya pa din yung peripheral end or yung tissue na dapat isusupply niya ng blood circulation. Ano po? In order to restore the blood flow in that particular area. Ayan. Oo. If ever naman, halimbawa, narrow lang naman yung ano, aside from bypass surgery, pwede din tayong pwede ding mag-perform ang doktor ng balloon angioplasty. Yan. Same din po nung ginawa dun sa peripheral artery disease. Ano po? The bypass surgery and balloon angioplasty. So, let's talk about renal artery stenosis. Ayan. So, ang nagkaroon naman ngayon ng problema will be your what? Your renal artery. Ano po? So, kung mapapansin nyo in this illustration, there is a narrowing. Ayan, narrowing of your renal arteries or the arteries that supply blood to your kidneys. Ano po? So, renal artery stenosis or RAS occurs when the artery that carry blood to your kidneys narrow. Ano po? And again, the usual cause is atherosclerosis. Ayan. So, what are the usual clinical manifestations kapag may renal artery stenosis ang isang pasyente? Of course, high blood pressure, and reduced kidney function. Bakit nga ma'am high blood pressure? Oh, looking at this illustration here, ayan, I think I took this from osmosis.com. Ayan. So in renal artery stenosis kasi, remember that your kidneys are very particular or very sensitive in your blood flow. Ano po? So since there is a narrowing of the artery, ayan, so kapag may narrowing sa artery leading to your kidneys, there will be a decrease in blood flow. Oo. Thereby lowering the blood pressure. Ano po? And once there is narrowing, your kidneys will what? Will notice it. Oh. Sabi niya dito, low blood pressure, I can sense it. So, your kidneys now will fix it by raising blood pressure. By what? Remember your RAAS? Oo. Your RAAS, renin, angiotensin, aldosterone system. 'Di ba? Oo, papataasin niya. Your kidneys will increase now the blood volume. Oo, will increase the blood volume and the aldosterone will what? Increase the blood volume and at the same time cause narrowing of your blood vessels, causing now an effective high or raise in the blood pressure. Ano po? Oo. Kasi akala ng kidneys mo, kaunti na lang yung dugo mo sa katawan. Ano po? Because of the narrowing. Because of the narrowing of your arteries. And of course, since there is a narrowing, there is what? There is reduced blood flow which carries your oxygen and nutrients. So kapag nangyari yun, there will be a reduced kidney function. Bakit? Kaunti na yung oxygen niya sa organ na yan, 'di ba? So it will cause what? It will cause kidney failure. So how will you diagnose and test if there is a renal artery stenosis? Of course, there will be physical exam, kidney function tests, and imaging scans. Ayan. So, what would be your management? What would be your management for this type of situation? So, most common treatment for RAS are lifestyle changes and medication. Lifestyle changes and medications. So, what lifestyle changes? Remember, the cause is atherosclerosis. So, in order to treat RAS or your renal artery stenosis, you have to treat the cause. You have to treat the atherosclerosis. So, again, lifestyle modification in order to what? In order to lessen your cholesterol intake. Ayan, proper exercise and diet is the key. Ano po? Ayan. So, if ever these are not, if ever lifestyle changes and medication is not effective, the doctor might suggest for surgery. Ano po? So, bakit? Again, pwede na namang mag-balloon stenting tayo or bypass graft. O usually yun yung dalawang surgical method na ginagawa nila, 'di ba? Kapag may ano yan, may narrowing or blockage in the artery of the patient. Usually ginagawa yon if the patient has unmanaged high blood pressure, ayan, that is resistant to medications or has progressive loss of kidney function. Ano po? So, kailangan na ng pangmadalian na solusyon kaya magsa-surgery na siya. Ano po, hindi na kayang mahintay ng doktor yung lifestyle changes. Ano po? Or the effects of the medication. So, how about your popliteal artery entrapment syndrome? Ano po? Usually, this one, this is the muscle behind your knee compresses your popliteal artery. Asan yung popliteal artery mo? Nandito. Ano po? This is your popliteal artery. Ano po? And your gastrocnemius muscle compresses this artery. Ano po? So, your popliteal artery is the main artery that runs from your thighs towards your calf. Ano po? Yan. So, usually, this type of syndrome affects what? Affects athletes. Ano po? Kasi 'di ba 'pag mga atleta, palagi silang nag-exercise. Ano po? And ang mga athletes din, they have what? They have more muscles than normal people. Ano po? And during the exercise, because this muscle, the gastrocnemius muscle is already enlarged, becomes more beefy, kaya nako-compress niya ang popliteal artery kapag gumagalaw siya. Ano po? So, what causes? Ayan. What causes the popliteal artery entrapment syndrome? Because we have two common types of compression. Ano po? There are two main types. We have two main types of compression. You have your anatomic compression and of course non-anatomic compression. So, kapag anatomic compression, ano po? It accounts for about 10% of cases. Ayan, 10% of cases. Ayan, and it is common in males. Ayan. So, it happens in only one leg. Ayan. Sa isang paa lang siya nangyayari. Ano po? Whilst on the other hand, the non-anatomic compression or functional, ang ibang tawag sa kanya is functional or physiologic compression. This one tends to occur in females. Ayan. And it happens on both legs. On both legs. Ayan. In more than 90% of cases. Ayan. Pag sinabi kasi nating Kapag sinabi kasi nating anatomic compression, ano po, this happens because a part of your gastrocnemius muscles crosses over or under your artery. Ano po? So, yung tendinous band of your muscle can damage your artery, leading to what? Balik tayo dito. Ano po? Ayan, kasalanan ni gastrocnemius muscle. Ano po? Ayan, nako-compress niya si popliteal artery. So, kapag nangyari yon, your anatomic, in the anatomic compression, ayan, it can lead to what? Ulcer, ayan, or sore in the artery. Then, which can lead to what? Build up of plaque, build up of clot. Then, eventually, hmm, eventually, occlusion. Ano po? Ayan, or closing or blocking of the artery or downstream arteries. Ano po? Ayan. So, kasalanan ni gastrocnemius kapag anatomic compression. Kapag non-anatomic compression naman, ano po, your muscles are all in normal locations. Ano po? All muscles are in normal location. Ayan. But typically insert higher up your thigh or bone. Ayan. So, this pulls your muscle to the inside of your with plantar flexion, compressing the muscle against your artery. Ano po? Ayan. So, ayoko na kayong ayoko na kayong ano, ipa-confuse pa between these two basta kapag popliteal artery entrapment syndrome, ang tatandaan niyo lang yung popliteal artery niyo nako-compress ng muscles ng leg niyo. Ano po? Particularly your gastrocnemius. Paano siya nako-compress? Because of the muscle contraction of your muscles. Ano po? Ayan. So, usually, this happens to athletes. Ano po? So, paano natin ngayon iti-treat siya? Ano po? Paano na natin siya iti-treat? What would be the management? Ano po? Management. What would be the management? Ano po? Your doctor can do surgery. Ano po? Usually, surgery. Ano po? Your doctor can do surgery to remove a small portion of your gastrocnemius and popliteus muscle. Ano po? For the surgery, remove a small portion of gastrocnemius and so, kasi kapag tinanggal mo na yung small portion ng muscles na yun, remember sila yung nakaka-compress, 'di ba? So, this eliminates now the compression of your artery and allows normal blood flow to your leg. Ano po? Ayan. Usually, the patient will be on generalized anesthesia, general anesthesia. Ano po? Ayan. So, kung halimbawa ayaw ng pasyente ng surgery, ano po, usually ang option B ng pasyente will be what? Botox. Ano po? Botox. Or the injection of botulinum toxin A. Ayan. So, paano siya pina-perform? With CT or ultrasound guidance, ano yan? So, the doctor will inject your Botox into the muscle that is causing the compression. Ano po? So, anong ginagawa? What does Botox usually do? It paralyzes. Ano po? It paralyzes, ayan, the muscle, ayan, that is causing the symptoms in hope that the muscle shrinks. Ano po? Paralyzes the muscles in hopes that the muscle will shrink permanently. Bakit? When you paralyze a muscle, you will eventually, this muscle group will what? Will have muscle atrophy. Remember, kapag ang muscle nyo hindi ginagamit, liliit siya. 'Di ba? So, that is the goal now of the Botox. Ano po? Ayan. Okay? So, ang tatandaan nyo lang po, ano po? Ayan. Kapag meron kayong ganito, or alimbawa, yung pasyente nyo, merong ganyan, ano po? The usual recovery time after surgery, ano po? Recovery time after surgery is 4 to 6 months. Ikaw ba naman tapyasan ka ng muscle, 'di ba masakit? It takes time. Oo. Then, you'll need to stay in the hospital overnight after surgery. Ano po? Even if it's not a major surgery, you have to still be admitted for ano po, for this type of procedure. Ano po? Then there will be physical therapy. Ayan, such as stretching, and flexibility exercises for the first 2 weeks. As outpatient. Ayan. So, after 2 weeks, ang gagawin mo na is strength and conditioning exercises. Ano po? Hanggang sa makarecover ka completely. And that's it for your popliteal artery entrapment syndrome. So how about your Raynaud's syndrome? 'Di ba? Usually naririnig natin tong Raynaud's, Berger's disease, mga ganyan-ganyan, 'di ba? Sa mga yung mga peripheral artery diseases natin. So, kapag sinabi nating Raynaud's syndrome, ayan, this is because of the spasms. Ano po? In the small blood vessels in your fingers and toes. Ano po? In your distal periphery. In distal or peripheral extremities. Ano po? Ayan. So, it may also affect what? It may also affect your blood vessels sa nose mo. Ayan, your nose, your lips, or even your earlobes. Ano po? Ayan. Ang tawag natin sa spasms na ito ay what? Vasospastic attacks. Ayan. Kung mapapansin nyo, ito, artery, this time, starting from Raynaud's syndrome, ang problema na natin dito is what? Usually your veins now. Ano po? Your arteries and veins pa din naman pala. So, vasospastic attacks. Ano pang nakakalimutan ko dito? So, naalala ko, during Raynaud's attack, ano po? Ang affected would be the arterioles, and capillaries. Ayan. The arterioles and capillaries in your fingers and toes, they tighten. They tighten, oo, more than normal. Oh, impeding now the blood flow in that particular area. Ano po? So, as a result, because of this, ano po? During the attack, the skin in that affected area turns white and then it turns blue. Ano po? Nagkakaroon ng cyanosis in that particular area. Ano po? Oh. So, this color change happens because your blood lacks oxygen. Ano po? Ayan. Again natin. Cyanosis. Ayan. Nagkakaroon ng cyanosis or bluish discoloration of the skin. Then, what else? Signs and symptoms na to, ha? Oh. Then, ano pa? There will be numbness. Numbness, or feeling cold. Ayan, feeling cold. Kasi walang blood supply, di ba? Oo. So, ay, saan na? So, don't worry kasi kapag may Raynaud's syndrome, 'di ba spasms lang naman siya. So eventually, after the attack, nag-open up din naman po ulit yung veins natin. Ano po? So, as the blood vessels relax and open up again, your skin will look red. Ano po? Will look red and feel tingly. Ano po? Oh. So, the usual attack lasts for around 15 minutes. Ayan. Kung iisipin mo, mabilis lang siya, di ba? 15 minutes. But that 15 minutes, those 15 minutes are very excruciating for a person with Raynaud's syndrome. Ano po? Ayan. Actually, the Raynaud's syndrome, meron tayong tinatawag na, ano yan, there are two main types of Raynaud's syndrome. We have primary Raynaud's syndrome or Raynaud's disease, and we have the secondary Raynaud's syndrome, also called Raynaud's phenomenon. Baka kasi ma-encounter nyo ito sa exam, so gusto ko lang siyang i-clarify para ano po, hindi nyo sila ma-confuse sa isa't isa. Ano po? Kapag primary Raynaud's, Raynaud's disease. Kapag secondary Raynaud's, Raynaud's phenomenon. Ano po? O what is the difference between the two? Ano po? Kapag Raynaud's disease, the cause is unknown. Ano po? It is not linked with an underlying disease. Ano po? Ibig sabihin, kusa lang talagang nagkakaroon ng ganun ng pasyente. Nagkakaroon siya ng spasm. So, the clinical manifestations are usually mild. Ayan. Skin color changes, numbness, pins and needles. Ayan. However, since it is mild, ano po, it doesn't cause skin ulcers and gangrene. Ano po? Ang treatment niya lang is lifestyle changes. You will simply have to, what? To prevent or avoid the triggers of your Raynaud's disease. Ano po? Kasi mayroon tayong tinatawag na triggers or triggering factors. Ano po? On the other hand, kapag may Raynaud's phenomenon ang isang tao, this is secondary, meaning there is an underlying disease that causes, ano po, the Raynaud's phenomenon. Ano po? There is an underlying disease, condition, medication, or lifestyle factor. Meron tayong identified cause. Ano po? Of the Raynaud's syndrome. For the symptoms, it may be mild or more severe. Ano po? And since there is an underlying factor, meron tayong cause. Ano po? Oh, it it will cause what? It will cause skin ulcers and gangrene. Ano po? Oh, the prevalence, it is less common. Ayan. And for the treatment, of course, you have to treat the underlying cause. Ano po? It can include medications or procedures. Depende po kung ano yung identified cause ng Raynaud's phenomenon or Raynaud's syndrome. Ano po? Huwag niyong i-interchange yan ha, the Raynaud's disease and Raynaud's phenomenon. Ayan. So, what is the difference between Raynaud's disease, Raynaud's phenomenon, and Raynaud's syndrome? And kanina na-differentiate na natin yung Raynaud's disease and Raynaud's phenomenon. Ano po? Kapag Raynaud's disease, what? It occurs on its own. It occurs on its own. Ayan. No cause. Ayan. Then, ang tawag natin dito is primary. Primary Raynaud's. Ay, ganun nangyari sa spelling ko. Yan. Primary Raynaud's. Then, kapag Raynaud's phenomenon naman, on the other hand, this is due to underlying condition. Ayan. Ayan. Medication or lifestyle factor. Like, for example, smoking. Bakit nga ma'am smoking? Sino dyan ang naninigarilyo? Because nicotine, ano po, a substance within the tobacco smoke causes vasoconstriction. Ano po? Ayan. Then, kung itong Raynaud's disease, primary Raynaud's, ang Raynaud's phenomenon is secondary. Secondary Raynaud's. Kapag sinabi naman nating Raynaud's syndrome, ano po, Raynaud's syndrome, remember that a syndrome is a collective of clinical manifestations that often, sorry. Remember that kapag sinabi nating syndrome, it is a what? It is a collection of clinical manifestation that is often, often can be found together. Ano po? So, meaning, kapag Raynaud's syndrome, it is either primary or secondary. Ayan. Kumbaga siya yung generalized term. Ano po? Ano ko pala ito? Wait. Bago tayo pumunta dyan, ano po? Bago tayo pumunta dito, let's talk about the triggers. Ano po? Ayan. So, kapag Raynaud's disease, sige, ano ko na lang siya, isalot ko na lang. Isiksik ko na lang siya. Kapag primary Raynaud's, there is no identified, ano po, di ba? No identified underlying cause. Underlying cause. Di ba? However, it has triggers. Ano po? Meron tayong tinatawag na triggers. Oo. So, what are the triggers? In Raynaud's disease. Yung triggers natin, these are the conditions that can lead to a Raynaud's attack. Ano po? Ano yung mga triggers niya? Air-conditioned rooms. Air-conditioned rooms. Because remember, di ba, the presence of cold causes vasoconstriction. Ano po? Ayan. Or other cold spaces. 'Di ba? Like frozen food, ayan. Frozen food aisle o kaya nagbukas ka ng freezer, ayan. O na-expose ka sa malamig, 'di ba? O number 2, anxiety. Anxiety, emotional stress, or excitement. Ayan. Then, number 3, cold weather, of course. Cold weather, whenever it's rainy or it's snowing, ayan. Wala namang ganyan dito sa Pilipinas. Oo, whenever it's raining lang, stormy weather, mga gano'n. Asa tayo sa snow. Then, if ever the patient is holding a glass of ice water, 'di ba? Or other cold drinks. Ito nabanggit ko na 'to. Reaching into the freezer or the simple, dito ko na lang yung number 6, or sweat. Ayan. Sweat that cools on your skin. Bakit? The evaporation of sweat on top of our skin brings out a cool feeling, 'di ba? So, what does all of these triggers have in common? So, mako-conclude natin dito na any contact with cold, ano po, can cause or can trigger the primary Raynaud's syndrome or the Raynaud's disease. Ano po? Ayan. How about the secondary Raynaud's syndrome? Kapag secondary Raynaud's syndrome, there is an underlying disease or condition. 'Di ba? So, it's very common in people with connective tissue diseases. Ayan. So, what are these diseases? Pwedeng Berger's disease, cancer, ano pa? Carpal tunnel syndrome, dermatomyositis, ano pa? Madami. Ano po, as long as it causes vasoconstriction. Ano po? Hypothyroidism, lupus, ano po, rheumatoid arthritis, vasculitis. Aside from that, pwedeng caffeine. Bakit? Caffeine can cause vasoconstriction, especially kapag taken in excessive amounts. Beta blockers. Mm. Beta blockers. Chemotherapy. Chemotherapy. Ano pa? Cocaine. Oo. Ano pa? Yung mga stimulants natin. Stimulant medications. Everything that can cause vasoconstriction, ayan, anything that causes vasoconstriction can cause secondary Raynaud's syndrome or Raynaud's phenomenon. Ilang tandaan nyo. Ano po? So, what would be your treatment goals? Ano po? What would be your treatment goals for the Raynaud's syndrome? Ano po? Of course, you have to prevent the Raynaud's attack. Ano po? We have to avoid all the triggers. Ano po? Especially if the patient have Raynaud's disease. Ano po? Then, reduce the severity of the attacks. Ayan. Improve the quality of life. Improve your quality of life. And then, of course, if ever the patient is having Raynaud's phenomenon, meaning there's an underlying cause, we treat the underlying disease or condition. Ano po? Then, prevent skin ulcers and tissue damage. Ayan. So, if the attack was triggered by the cold, we can provide warm compress. 'Di ba? We can provide warm water bottles for the patient to hold. Ano po, or we can place them on their feet para ano yan, para magkaroon sila ng vasodilation and the what? Correct and rectify the Raynaud's attack. Ano po? So for many people, lifestyle changes are enough to manage their condition. So these include the following. First, we have to avoid cold spaces, like the frozen food aisle or extreme air conditioning. Ano po? Or wag muna tayong pumunta sa mga malalamig na lugar. Ano po? Avoid touching cold objects like glass of ice water or cold metal surfaces. Ayan. Then since anxiety is one of the triggering factors, we want to manage stress and strong emotions that could trigger an attack. Ano po? Wag mo nang i-stress. Oo. Then, wear warm clothes during cold weather. Kaya nga meron tayong mittens and thick socks, ayan, for these types of patients. Ano po? So, what are the medications that can be given for the patients with Raynaud's syndrome? Ano po? We can anticipate for the doctor to prescribe calcium channel blockers. Bakit? Bakit nga ma'am calcium channel blockers? 'Di ba nga ma'am para sa high blood pressure 'yan? Oo. Because these medications help your small blood vessels. Ayan. It helps blood vessels to relax and open up. Ano po? So as a result, you have fewer attacks, and those you do have, ano po, kapag inatake ka, less severe siya. Ano po? How about alpha blockers? These alpha blockers, these counteract norepinephrine. Ano po? It counteracts norepinephrine. Oo. And your norepinephrine is the hormone that constricts your blood vessels. It constricts the blood vessels, therefore increasing the blood pressure. That is the reason kapag bumabagsak ang blood pressure ng pasyente, di ba meron siyang norepidrip? Di ba? Napansin nyo? Oo. Because it constricts the blood vessels. Kaya, for the patient with Raynaud's syndrome, we give or the doctor will prescribe alpha blockers in order to counteract the norepinephrine. Ano po? Which is a normal hormone that can be found within the patient's body. Then, pwede ding mag-prescribe ang doktor ng nitroglycerin skin ointment. Ano po? Remember that your nitroglycerin what? Your nitroglycerin, it opens up again. Oo. Nitroglycerin, it opens your blood vessels. Yan. Kaya nga 'di ba sa MI ginagamit din ng nitrogly? 'Di ba? So, meron din tayong tinatawag if the Raynaud's disease is very severe, ayan, and all of these methods, itong treatment goals, ganyan, and these medications, they are not effective anymore. Meron tayong tinatawag na sympathectomy. This is, it is a surgery, that temporarily blocks or cuts tiny nerves near your affected blood vessels. Sympathectomy, tatanggalan po natin ng sensation yung areas na affected. Bakit? Kapag nawalan po ng sensation in that particular area, your blood vessels now will no longer receive signals from the brain to constrict. Ayan. So therefore, it relieves the symptoms for at least 1 to 2 years. Oo. It relieves the symptoms for 1 to 2 years. Yan, temporary lang siya. Because remember this, temporary blocks lang. Or cuts. Ayan. Eventually, the nerves will regenerate and you will have to do the surgery again. Oo. Kapag nagpa-sympathectomy ang isang pasyente. Tandaan yan ha. Okay. So that is your Raynaud's syndrome. Okay. So I think it's already more than 1 hour. The rest, akala ko matatapos ko siya sa isang pasada lang. Meron pa palang madami-dami pa ito. Ayan, may carotid stenosis pa tayo and meron pa tayong madami pang pages. Okay? So, anyway, I will continue my video recording later. So, ito na muna for now. Okay, I will send you another video recording maybe tonight or tomorrow morning. Okay? So, thank you so much everyone. Good luck and have a good day. Bye-bye.